Hi guys, and welcome back to LPB Racing for the Cup Championship on GT Sport. This is race 4 of the special event of round 4. Bidzster is on pole because he was 5th in the last race. Callum on full weight in 5th place on the grid. Rodas on the front row in 2nd place. Neil 3rd. Getting ready for the lights to go out to start this race. Off we go. Oh, and a terrible start for someone. Someone didn't even move off the line. Callum gets a bad start as well. Jamo and Callum hardly move off the line, but Bidzster into turn 1 first. Neil Farmack over the grass. Rodders challenging for the lead in towards Druids. Rodders challenges Bidzster for the lead. Bidzster defends the inside. Neil locks up slightly. T-Y's on the inside of Task and almost 3 wide at the back, and Mr. Slow One's up the inside of Nick Hash. Good stuff, but Nick Hash is on the inside back down towards Graham Hill Bend. Task 1 passes T-Y. Nick Hash is sideways in front of Mr. Slow One. Mr. Slow One quick to avoid. Seat 1 just behind Callum there as well, and Jamo near the back of the grid. Mr. Slow One's out of control. He has to avoid someone, and we've got someone else off up there as well. That's Neil Farmack with a cone, the cone landing on its head, which is good. And as we go across the line, I don't know what happened to Neil there, but we'll get a quick replay. What happened to Neil Farmack? To watch the second green car. There we are. Just has a little twitch, goes on the grass, and just ends up mowing a bit of lawn, taking out a few cones, and then rejoins safely. As we come back from that, Callum and Mr. Slow One side by side. Mr. Slow One going to go up the inside of Callum into turn 1. Oh, he's on the grass, giving him room, and goes back on, but then he gets passed by 9th place Neil Farmack, and gets almost passed by Jamo. As we go through Druids, Mr. Slow One rejoins in front of Jamo. As we go to the battle for 2nd place, we've got Rodders and Cyrex very close indeed. Team Green, Rodders, Team Black, Cyrex very close together, coming through McLaren into clearways. TY in 4th, Task 1 5th. Rodders and Cyrex are almost side by side ahead, as Seat 1 has a bit of a moment there. As Nick Hash goes up to 6th place. Callum behind his teammate, Seat 1. Meanwhile, Rodders into 2nd place, drifting through turn 1, but Cyrex goes straight back through because Rodders went a bit more sideways than Cyrex. And we've got cars off in the background. Nick Hash and Seat 1 are off. So Nick Hash and Seat 1 go into the grass again as Seat 1 rejoins and hits Mr. Slow One, and then hits him again past Jamo. Good stuff. There's Mr. Slow One trying to defend from Jamo. Jamo trying to stick it up the inside, but no way through there. Mr. Slow One very fast into the corner. We're on board with him now. There he is rejoining. So straight from 8th to 10th after that wild ride. But he's all good. Task 1 in 5th place, hitting the grass a bit there. So to sum up then, Bidzster in the lead, who's just at the fastest lap of the race at 50.7. Cyrex 2nd. Rodas 3rd for Team Green. Team Yellow TY in 4th, closing up on Rodders. And then we've got Task 1 in 5th, Callum 6th. Neil Farmack very, very sideways 7th, and he's lost it. Control into the gravel. Completely loses control of the car. Rejoins. Mr. Slow One goes up to 8th place. Neil back down to 9th. Nick Hash in 10th. Seat 1 at the back in 11th position. But meanwhile, we'll just have a look at TY and Rodders. Rodders has gone back into the hands of TY, and now TY is all over the back of him, going through McLaren into clearways. Through clearways we go. TY gets up the inside of Rodders, and then alongside each other, almost mirror to mirror contact as they go past each other. TY goes past Rodders. Is he alongside enough? Yes, he's through. So Rodders through. Sorry, TY through into 3rd place, very sideways into the corner now. Complete and utter drift, and Rodders is right back up the inside again. So Rodders through the inside into Druids, and very sideways. TY again can't stop the car, and Rodders goes back through to 3rd. Brilliant stuff. So as you come down the hill then, Rodders ahead of TY. TY with a good run out of that corner though. Goes to the inside from McLaren. There's TY, the yellow car. There's Rodders, the green one. And TY goes straight back through again. So these two swapping places like there's no tomorrow. TY sideways into clearways, but then straightens the car out for a good run out the corner and goes into 3rd place. So Rodders back down to 4th. Callum in 5th, not really able to close up as such. Task 1 6th, Jamo 7th. Then we've got Mr. Slow One and Neil close together on track. So Neil hoping to try and get some more places back after that spin that we saw earlier. In 9th place. But there's Mr. Slow One going through. Team Orange, and using all the inside of the track, and Neil Farmack's going to have the speed around the outside. Will he be able to get the move done into Druids? The answer is yes. So Neil Farmack goes right around the outside of Mr. Slow One there. Mr. Slow One just making a bit of a dodgy line into the first corner, which lost him speed, and then rejoins in 9th place. So 11th place for Nick Hash. He's spun round again. Seat 1 back up to 10th. As we look at the leaders, Cyrex and Bidzster side by side for the lead into the first corner. Bidzster's only got 40 kilos on, Cyrex hasn't got much on at all. Cyrex goes right round the outside of Bidzster almost, and he does, right round the outside of Bidzster. So Cyrex moves into first place. So well done to Cyrex, and I would imagine he'd pull away now because Bidzster with that 40 kilos on, it will not help him at all. Flashes lights at Cyrex to say, wait for me! But Cyrex is ahead in the lead, mounting the curb, so does Bidzster. And Cyrex and Bidzster getting used to this MR2. Driving it very smoothly around the track. Good job there by them two. So TY into 3rd position now, obviously in front of Rodders. But Rodders now has got Callum to think about, because Callum's coming up in 5th place. So here comes Callum, coming up behind Rodders. He's not close enough yet to have a stab, but Task 1 and Jamo going through there in 6th and 7th place. There's Neil Farmack in 8th place. As we go back to the leaders then, Cyrex and Bidzster. Cyrex very sideways at that corner. Bidzster hoping to keep with him. As we go out of that corner, there's Nick Hash just flashing through that little yellow blip. So coming through McLaren, both with good. Oh, Nick Hash has lost it. Well, that'll not be a problem for the leaders. So Nick Hash loses it and goes towards the Grand Prix section. Hopefully he'll not try and reverse down the track this time like he did in the previous race. Hopefully he's learned his lesson from that. And there he is, rejoining forwards this time, not backwards. As we look at the leaders then, Cyrex and Bidzster still very close together. Cyrex runs a bit wide on the exit of the Paddock Hill Bend, the first corner, but doesn't get too sucked into the gravel. He probably just kissed the gravel a bit, and he runs a bit wide there though. He's got to be careful not to do that too much, otherwise Bidzster will be right back on him. As we go through Graham Hill Bend, both evenly matched on pace. Very good stuff. There's TY in the background, very, very sideways. He's almost lost it, I think he has. Oh, good hold there from TY. It was very sideways as he went towards that, but he just about holds on. As we look back at Task 1, Rodders and Jamo. So Rodders has gone backwards here. He's back into 6th place. He was in 5th, but Task 1's got him. So Rodders back down to 6th place. Jamo waiting in the wings to pick up any spoils as well. So there's Jamo in the white and grey Demon Tweaks car. So Jamo looking to make a move now on Rodders as we go down towards the first corner. Task 1 ahead. Rodders in 6th, defends from Jamo just to make sure he's not going to try anything. Both cars sideways through that corner and no harm done. Seat 1's going very slow towards Druids. Hopefully he'll get out of the way as Task 1 goes through. Rodders goes through as well, but and they all resume as they are. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead is hotting up. Bidzster's right on the back of Cyrex. He's going to try and go up the inside into clear ways. He's going to try the Matt Neal shuffle, and it works. No contact there, just Cyrex just trying to go sideways while we're on the brakes, giving Bidzster some room. Side by side now, down the straight. Bidzster will lose a bit of speed on the straight with the 40 kilos. Cyrex will be able to come back at him around the outside, but he is on the outside. He'll not be able to get through on the inside, as Bidzster does there. Through the inside, will he be able to get across in time to defend? The answer is no. Cyrex straight back up the inside. I'm not giving up that easy. And Bidzster trying to keep. Oh, Bidzster's keeping it around the outside. Bidzster's trying to keep the pace around the outside and get the inside for Graham Hill Bend, which is this left-hander here. Very tricky corner. Don't want to run too wide, and both cars get away with it well. But Cyrex moves out to try and overtake again into McLaren. He's going to try and overtake into McLaren. Side by side through that corner. Bidzster just retains the position. but goes defensive into the corner, so he'll be slower out. Cyrex will be able to get a straighter line and get the power on, but looks like Bidzster actually got quite a decent run anyway, so Bidzster retains the lead. Great scrap that, brilliant bit of driving by both drivers there. T1 and Callum closing up to each other. Jamo and Task 1 are still close for 6th and 7th positions. Rodders is just ahead in 5th. As we go across the line, start of lap 12. Towards the first corner goes Jamo. Rodders ahead, Jamo's very sideways there, but not enough for Task 1 to close up to make a move, I don't think. Now, Jamo defends the inside. Task 1 tries to go around the outside, but no way through there. We'll just stick with this battle for a moment. And Jamo's lost it! Oh! He just lost it on the edge of the corner. I don't know if there was contact or not. Task 1's waiting for him, so there must have been contact. So let's him go back through. So we'll get a replay on that. Okay, here we are on board with Task for a replay on what happened between him and Jamo. So Jamo's around the inside and then gets on the power, and Task 1 hits him from behind and then hits Jamo round, and then but he sportsmanly waits for him and lets him go past. As we come back from that replay, then side by side for the leaders. Cyrex is back in the lead. We missed how that happened. We'll get a replay on that as well. Okay, here's a replay on how Cyrex took back the lead from Bidzster then. So going into McLaren, Bidzster looks like he's alright there, and then goes to defend the inside. And then Cyrex, there, gets a really good run out of the corner, and then just drives right round the outside of Bidzster. Just got a phenomenal run and went right round the outside. But as we come back from that, Cyrex goes very sideways into the first corner. Bidzster goes up the inside to fight back. Straight up the inside into Druids on the brake. See the front end of the car pitch down. Both of them wing mirror to wing mirror. Brilliant stuff. These guys have got huge respect for each other. Good drivers. TY and Callum are very close in the background as well. Plenty of scraps happening on in this race, which is good. There's TY in the background and Callum. TY's lost it and Callum goes up the inside. And don't know whether there was contact initially. I don't think there was. TY just lost it on his own and Callum takes advantage and goes straight through. So TY with a very, very twitchy MR2 there. I think the tyres have gone. Well, he's sort of turning it into Tokyo Drift, and yes, the tyres have gone. I was right. TY drifts it into the wall in the pit lane, and then he's got to try and get the car turned round now in the pits. There we go. But a bit of an embarrassing entrance to the pit lane there for TY, but gets in eventually. Neil Farmack goes through. TY's probably going to rejoin behind Jamo and Task 1 here, so he's going to be quite far down. Mr. Slow One's there in 9th. Oh, Cyrex has lost it! Biz is in the lead. Cyrex has gone round. I thought I saw something happen on the map. Cyrex has gone completely round. I don't think there was contact with Bidzster, but just to make sure, we'll get a quick replay. Here's a replay of what happened to Cyrex, and on lap 14 he's nowhere near Bidzster. Just, too fast into the corner, gets on the power too early, and then round she goes. Callum goes round for 2nd place, and then Cyrex gets the car turned around and resumes the race. So as we come back from that then, Cyrex in 3rd place now after that mistake. Callum up to 2nd, a very lucky 2nd place for Callum. Can he catch Bidzster with the remaining laps? Neil Farmack back in 5th, Rod is just ahead there in 5th, so Team Green 4-5. Jamo in 6th place, Task 1 in 7th. TY rejoins in 8th place after that pit stop. He could have rejoined ahead of them too, but he unfortunately made a mistake on the way in, and he almost made a mistake on the way into that corner as well, so that car really not handling to TY's liking at the minute. Really struggling with that car. Mr. Slow On in 9th place, good consistent pace for him. Nick Hash in 10th. Unfortunately, Seat 1 has retired from the race, so Seat 1 will get no points in this one. So Seat 1 having trouble with this car, decides to retire, but unfortunately he's missed out on double points for his team. Callum has worked his way up to 2nd place, he's worked his way hard, so it is a shame when one person has to come out of the race, but Callum now has got the sole Team Blue car remaining in this race. As he goes past that road cone on the outside of Clearways. Through Clearways he goes to start another lap. Cyrex goes through there as well. There goes Rodders. A very solid 4th place as we see Nick Hash off the road again as he almost hits Nick. He almost hits Neil Farmack as he rejoins Really needs to be careful with that car as he rejoins. Now he's trying to get out of the way of other people. Not the best way of getting out of the way, but gets out of the way anyway. But yeah, Nick Hash definitely is going to have to review his driving standards at the end of this. Was quite a lot of dangerous driving in the race before, the race 3, and a lot in this one as well. I mean, yes, I'll grant that the car is hard to handle, but it's not that hard to handle. It's not that hard to handle that you have to reverse around the whole bloody track. But Bidzster goes through in the lead then, Callum second, Cyrex third, Rodders fourth, Neil fifth. And up, Task 1 and TY. Task 1 starts low mowing, and TY's behind him. So again, I don't know whether there was more contact there, but we'll get a replay. Okay, here's a replay of what happened between Task and TY. So you see TY gets a demon run out of Paddock Bend, then goes right round the outside into Druids, but then goes in too hot. Task 1 keeps to the inside and goes straight through, and then cuts in front of TY, and then down the hill we go, and then Task 1 again just carrying way too much speed, just driving very aggressively, and then makes his way across the grass and rally crosses his way back onto the line. Play. As we come back from that, Task 1 drifting it into clearways, TY right behind him, wanting that extra place for those extra points. As we look at Bidzster then, on his last lap, coming round Druids, keeping it nice and smooth. There's Callum following suit. He has done some faster laps than Bidzster on these last couple of laps, but I don't think he's going to be close enough at all to get a move done. He's got to catch up another 3 or 4 seconds. There's Bidzster just going through shot there. So Cyrex goes through in 3rd place, and meanwhile a little bit further back we've got TY and Task 1 still battling it out for 7th and 8th, but TY's managed to get through. TY into 7th place ahead of Task, gets the move done. But here's Bidzster, he's about to win race 4. Well done to Bidzster, flashes lights in delight, he wins race 4, well done. Callum finishes in 2nd place, well done to Callum, we'll be happy with that, despite his teammate dropping out the race. Cyrex in 3rd place then for Team Black, well done to Cyrex, good podium. Rodders gets 4th place, well done to Rodders there, 4th place for Rodders, comes across the line, well done. His teammate in 5th place, Neil Farmack. Jamo in 6th, TY 7th, just from Task 1, good finish there for them too. Mr. Slow One is going to come home in 9th hopefully from Nick Hash. As we go through the corner there, yeah, Nick Hash is a couple laps down anyway, so Mr. Slow One is going to finish in 9th place, a good solid finish for him, and then Nick Hash brings it home in 10th place, Seek 1 a retirement. So we'll just get those results confirmed for you now. Okay guys, let's run you through those results then. So Bidzster was the winner in that one then, from Callum in 2nd place, Cyrex finishes in 3rd, Rodders finishes in 4th, and Neil finishes in 5th. So they will carry the weight in the next round of the championship. So Jamo finishes in 6th, TY comes home in 7th, Task 1 finishes in 8th, Mr. Slow One finishes in 9th, Nick Hash finishes 10th, and Seek 1 retired from the race about halfway through. Bidzster is the man with the fastest lap then, a 50.7. So as you come back from that then, there's your winner, Bidzster, in the orange MR2. There he is. So we'll see you guys next time as we go back to normal points and for round 5. So we'll see you guys next time. Take care.